I'm good. I'm always ready.
Okay, wonderful. Hey, I'm here today with Susanne Aichele. Did I pronounce that right, Susan?
It's Aichele, but it's good enough.
Aichele. Okay.
Yeah, it means it's German and it means people that live by the oak tree. And I guess I have one in the background, at least a tree.
All right. Well, I have oak trees in the backyard too, so that's great. Um, okay, and we usually start these interviews off asking Susan where she lives and what she does. I just want to throw out there first that Susan was one of our mentors in the Art of Channeling class and group, which I guess meant that you'd been through a previous class or something. Is that correct?
Yeah, I went through Sarah's semi-private channeling group. And yeah, it's really opened up. And then being a mentor has really helped me realize that I'm kind of meant to teach. And I talked to Sarah about teaching animal communications. He says, yeah, go for it. Because that's kind of my specialty has always been with animals. I didn't realize it so much because that's just my nature, but I think it happens with people.
And then early on, you did that Zoom call with the group, and that really helped me to get going. And um,
Oh, good.
I was on that. I think there were like 40 people. You were surprised at how popular it was. I think it was on animal communication. I can't even remember it. Just like for me, I got thinking about other things. I'd never even occurred to me to channel animals.
Yeah.
So anyway, that really helped me open up. And anyway, I will start more officially with the interview. So why don't you tell us in your words who you are, where you live, what you do, and we'll get rolling.
So my name is Susanne Aichele, and I grew up in Germany on a farm. And I was always around animals. And then in, I don't know, 25 years or 26 years ago, I immigrated to Canada, to Yukon, which is right beside Alaska, because I was involved with somebody that was into dog mushing and was going to run, or did run the Yukon Quest, and I did a rut. And so taking care of these top athletes was a bit of a challenge. It's, if anybody that does sports knows that, you know, if you do sports and these are extreme sports, you know, you're gonna get injured and you want to have the best possible health. And so I learned a lot about that, but I was always kind of tuned into what they wanted, but it wasn't like in words as much as then what I learned like a year ago. I mean, it was coming through more and more, but when I really opened and committed to the communication, it was like, I don't know, it's like a floodgate opening, and they're like so keen for us to go to that next level, to go from, oh, I know my dog wants to go out, or my dog wants a treat, or my dog wants to be petted, to hey, we got the, you know, like it's like sitting with Einstein and you ask him, so what was your favorite childhood toy? And did you like a blue or a red blanket? And Einstein is like, let me tell you, E equals MC square. And let me explain that, you know, let me talk about quantum physics, please. And that's how they are. And we're just missing out, you know, if we don't go to that level. And
That's amazing.
yeah, that's where they are, and they help us stay in body while we evolve and raise our vibration.
So can you tell us something about yourself, just so that we can get to know you a little bit better, that maybe you wouldn't talk about with other people, and it should be something interesting and entertaining that we don't already know or couldn't guess before?
I I can tell you that you can heal anything yourself, and you always heal everything yourself. I'm not sure how entertaining that is, but I had serious health stuff. And if you're really, really down right now, that just means you're going to go really, really high up. I don't know the entertainment factor of it, but you need to know that that is your rocket fuel. It's just a really, really compressed rocket fuel. And
Okay.
then and then I don't know, that's not the entertaining part, but the rest of my my story, but I don't talk about it that much.
No, that's great. You know, because I get the idea that you went through something, which that's perfectly fine if you don't want to share that with us.
No,
But
it's
because,
not that it was that traumatic. I don't want to share it because it doesn't matter.
yeah, no,
But I
that's
want
even
to
better.
address that some people are not where I'm at, or feel they are not, but they it's just that that is really important. And I don't really talk about it that much, because if I tell you all the stuff that's gone wrong in my life, wrong, that was my springboard. And I just want to say that for people that need to hear that, because sometimes we get kind of, oh God, this person, she talks to animals, she does this, she has these insights, and I'm not there. And it's like, yeah, you can be, but you just have to honor where we are at the moment. And ask me anything else like that is, let me talk, and I'm like more entertaining than that.
Okay, well, I totally get it with healing, because sometimes when you do talk about healing episodes, people think, oh, well, that's fine if you had a heart attack and you're suffering from this and that, but I have this other thing that's different. Well, probably it isn't when it comes to the healing.
Oh, I created I can tell you, I'm very powerful. I just didn't know it. And I created a whole shitload of health concerns, like chronic health things, and things
Mhm.
where the doctors tell me now, if you had that when you were 18, rheumatoid arthritis, you would not be walking right now. I said, yeah, because I healed myself. I went to my doctor and said, my tonsils are infected. But the problem, he took them out and then he got better. But the problem was the mental situation was still the same. I didn't love myself enough. I had zero self-worth. I had zero self-esteem. That's when nothing worked out. And then I learned that I needed to love myself, and I had to act on what my body needed. I needed to rest, and rest, years of rest, because I had so much trauma. It wasn't because my family was totally crappy. It was because I'm highly sensitive, which is my superpower. But nobody tells you when you're 7. They tell you there's something wrong. Just stop being who you are. And I'm telling you, be who you are. That's where you heal, and allow everybody else to be who they are. And your animals, the animals show us. They have like unconditional love, but we love them so much for that, because we know somewhere down we have that too. And we have to start with that, with ourselves. And when we love ourselves, the animal's job is way easier. They don't need to show us, you're wrong there, like you're not stepping into your power. I need you to step into your power. Now we're getting into what is power. There's a lot of negative connotation, but power just means your connection to spirit, to soul, whatever you want to call it, to your higher self. And so the teaching animal communication is in a sense just you, because you love them so much, allowing yourself to step into your power, to be in your center, to go for what you do need to do. And I did most of my healing because my animals, I could see how my animals suffered with me being in fear all the time. They get kidney disease, and one couldn't even stand up. But they're like, Suzanne, we're not changing. Like it's if you crank up the heat in a room to 100 degrees, everybody's going to feel warmer. For some of you, it's going to feel just that cozy. And if you're dealing with hot flashes, you're like, I got to get out. Now, your dog can't get out of your energy, your house. So if you're coming home stressed, and then you're like, oh, I feel so much better, patting my dog, it calms me down. But it's like a mechanic with dirty, greasy hands having, oh, my hands are dirty, I better wipe them off my dog. It makes no sense. Nobody would do that, but we do that with the energy. So I ask people to take responsibility. It's no big deal how to do that. There's easy techniques, and you can do them like at work, on the hour, every hour. Take 3 deep breaths, reset. And then when you're happy, everybody else has an easier time around you, and your dogs are. But they show us, and they don't stop showing us until we learn. My dog would get bladder infections. I know, and the dog vet wouldn't see anything, but I knew because I'm a healer. So my energy would go off and I would feel tinkling as like something wrong. And I was trying to fix my dog. And then I was like, wait a sec, okay, let's observe. I just watched a campfire burning and nobody was around. It pissed me off, because I felt like, all these things, but I'm spiritual. And I thought, oh, I'm spiritual, I'm all enlightened. Like I'm like, and I'm like, no, I'm upset. And it's right to be upset. It's like we need to, sometimes it's okay to be upset. It's like setting boundaries, somebody treats you unfairly and it's like, wait a sec. Either you start to treat me with respect, or we're not having a relation. I don't need that. I treat myself with respect and the people in my life are treating me with respect. So then I learned, okay, I could say to my dog, thank you, I got the message, I'll take care of it. And what I did, because my liver was over stressed, the Chinese doctor said I should throw eggs at trees. That's a double no for me. I don't waste food and I cannot harm a tree. So what I learned is I leave my dogs at home, I go for a drive, and I call them scream drives. I don't need them anymore. But at that point, I would just drive and I would just say the things that I needed to say and get out the energy out of my system. And that's easy things you can do. Like find ways to get because what I did, whenever I said no, people just ignored it and I still had to do the things they asked me for. So women often turn anger inwards more than men because of our society. That's the role. Now, David, you could probably, for you, it would be okay to be angry or actually even required to fit in that you showed some aggression. Does it resonate?
A little bit.
So we have these situations that then we as children, we don't have control over, and then we almost run our life on that blueprint or what we see in our family. And so I learned that the animals would reflect back to me what I didn't want to see in myself or the emotions I didn't want to feel. And I'm not talking about sitting there crying for hours. If you actually try to feel your emotions for 5 minutes solid, like get your anger up to rage, like I'm not saying act on it, feel it in your system, let it run. I bet you don't do 5 seconds or 15 seconds. Because what our problem is, we're like, I feel angry, I feel upset, I feel so empty, let's eat something. Or oh, I feel angry, I'm not feeling well, I'm gonna go out and have a drink with my friends. Or, I'm gonna go on, whatever platform, social media, I'm gonna post something. But if we actually really stop, and, you can take the 3 breaths or do any other, but it's not to get it away, it's to be fully present in the now moment. Eckhart Tolle wrote a whole book on the power of now, I think it's called. And there is only the now moment, right? But we're like maniacs. And I mean, that's why the last 2 years were so hard on some level for a lot of people, because they could not do the compulsive things. Like all of a sudden you couldn't meet your friends in the bar, you couldn't go for whatever you were doing before. And we actually started to face, and it actually started helping a lot of people to wake up to who we are. And then we don't need all this stuff. We still want to go and meet friends, but we're not doing it out of a compulsive filling the void. It's comes out of fulfillment. And now this is not much about animal communication, but in the sense, I gave you in I don't know how many minutes everything you need to ever know about your life.
Well, like I said, we were trying to squish this into 10 minutes, and I'm sure that we're going to blow that. However, my dogs were really encouraging me to listen to every word, especially the part about, not petting them with my negative emotions, and which I'm sure I've done that way too much and too often, and they've no doubt suffered, especially like you say in these.
But there's this is a really, I love what you were saying. This is a really important point where I need to bring in, there is zero judgment, like zero judgment from my side ever, and
Hmm.
absolutely no judgment, but a ton of love from your animals. This is like their job. They said, yes, I want to do that for them. I had dogs that came back over and over, and I screwed up seriously. Not or in my judgment about myself, and then I had them in care of somebody else, and they one of them died, and and she came back, doing the big stuff again for me. There is no judgment. It's their job.
Oh,
They,
okay. Well, that's a great way to look
yeah,
at it.
yeah. There's like, it's like if you go and you call an ambulance, and you say like, sorry, like like I did have a heart attack and I'm really sorry, and it's like they're like, well, this is my job, I get paid for it, and they get paid in other ways. It's, but
Well,
yeah, it's not because we don't, it's because we don't know. You didn't know. Now you know, now you make a choice, and sometimes you will go because you don't know. Like I would, it's like, I just don't know how to deal with the situation, I need help, right? And that's like calling a friend. It's like, I don't want to bring you down. Do you have enough resources to help me right now and stabilize my system, right? And then like and then the next time you're like, okay, I know now, I need, that's what how it was for me, I need to take better care, I need to make that a priority.
hmm. Well, can you tell us a little bit about what's coming up next for you? What's going to be new in your life in this next upcoming year?
Oh, one sec here.
Sure.
I actually want to do something. It's called, it's a tribal light language. It's a healing activation. And I just want to do it because that is something I started to put on for sale on the website. So my goal is that everybody can get a little bit, not everybody might want to book a session, or people might want to get a little intro. And so, and this is, it bypasses the brain, and it goes right to your body, your cells, your emotions. So if you want, you can close your eyes and relax when you listen to that.
All right. Well, if you send me the information about where that website is and where that link that you talked about is, we can put that up by your video when I post it. Uh,
Yeah.
is
And
there is there anything the group can do to help you?
well, spread the word. My main thing is, I realized that I do save lives. I have saved some animals from being put down when the vets couldn't figure out what to do. And it is, they sometimes can, because it is what I described before about when we have the energy, like kind of when we are always stressed about something, or something goes on in our life, and then they can't necessarily see that my dog had kidney problems because I was so much in fear. I was sick, I didn't have enough income, and so when then the vet couldn't really help the dog because I was the one that had the energy, and the dog was just sitting in the energy and showed me. So that said, I have no judgment about anybody doing anything, because if you could do anything wrong, I probably did it already. But that was my rocket fuel. That's why I'm talking to you. So share it if you know anybody that might benefit. And then I do start I'm going to have like another call that David was on about animal communication on December 1st. And then I'm going to be doing animal communication, teaching it one-on-one in a 7-week program. And I'm also going to teach self-healing. self-healing for you and your animals. And it can have some, you know, like it's what I want is for people to understand that they have the power, that they can learn everything they need to heal themselves and their dogs. And yes, sometimes we need a medical, you know, the medical system, but we are our number one fan and caretaker, you know, we get the power. And so I do regular sessions, you know, you can find them on my website. And if somebody wants something, you know, for like, I would love to get more into working with, you know, like groups that, so if you have like, oh, okay, I want you to talk to people, I'm totally keen on anything that, you know, I mean, I am here to fulfill your needs. I just have a limited view on what that could be. So if somebody comes to me and they say, you know, like, I like what you talk about, you know, this, what I'm teaching also helps work with kids. And that's why my friends called me baby whisperer, because I would clear the kids' energy field. And 5 minutes later, they're like, Mom, sorry, I was a little bit, you know, and they're like, well, how do you do it? I was like, very easy, you know, it's very easy for everybody, not just for me. It just need to know how to. Yeah.
Okay, well, we're past our time by a little bit, so probably good to wave goodbye to everyone. And I'll put the information on everything you talked about that you can send me a link for along with the video. So if folks are interested in getting on that call on December 1st or any of the other things you talked about, they have a way to get there.
And I do free 15-minute discovery sessions. You know, if somebody says, well, I don't know if you can help me, you know, let's just talk. I mean, that's the first step. I do not want any, you know, missing information being the way of people getting the help and the animals that they deserve. You deserve to have an even better life.
Oh, well, thank you very much. And thanks so much for doing the interview. That was great. All right. Goodbye.
Thanks, David. Thanks, everybody. Take care.